Okay, so the Power BI, as we have seen yesterday, we were able to understand it offers the excellent tool for graphical visualization. So it has a lot of plotting capabilities, right? Great plotting capabilities, and also it offers a lot of depth for the each visualizations. For example, if you want to format a visualization, a lot of options are available, and also if you want to include more than one column, that is also possible. Today, now we will continue with the table visualization. Table visualization. So table visualization is just a normal grid. Okay, so in that you can view the data in the form of rows and columns. It will have headers and only rows in it. Like in the Excel sheet, how we see the data, the same way we can see it here. Now you might be wondering, so because of the data we store it in Excel in the form of rows and columns, difficult to extract the patterns with that just by taking a look at it. But now, why again we need to use table visual? Because when you view the data in the form of rows and columns, it is boring, right? So instead, if you view them in the form of charts, it will be very much helpful for us to quickly grasp or to gain an insight by visuals. Then why do we need to use tables? Not all the times visuals also helpful. When you use bar chart or pie chart, right? Sometimes we may have to visualize the data. Supposing you want to visualize the data in detail, so in that case, the table format data are very much helpful, and also for debugging purpose, it is very much helpful. And also in Power BI, we can, once you create the table, we can copy paste the content of the table from individual cells, and also multiple selections, right? You can do it for the columns. I'll just show you. I'll just go back to the head back to this one, the Power BI. I'm going to create a new page here. So this is my canvas. I'm going to add a table visual to this canvas visual by clicking on the table visualization. So based on the dummy data, it created a blank table. So I need to add some data to it. So what I do is I just go ahead and select country and sales. Not only country, and I'm going to add the category also here, and the next one is subcategory. So this is how you can create the table. It is pretty simple. I just dragged and dropped the columns that I want to visualize in table here. So when you look at the axis here on the right side, so the fields, the axis, these are the columns. If I want to change the order here, you cannot drag and drop it like how you use it in Excel. For example, if I want to copy this column table and then paste it in between category and subcategory, that is not possible. Instead, you need to go to this axis and then you need to change it. I wanted to drag this up, category has a list values in it, labels in it. Okay, we call this as labels. Okay, the furniture and office supply, these are my labels. And here, why do I have two category? I'm going to remove this one. I don't need. So one thing, so these subcategories, these products falls under the category furniture, and these items falls under the office supplies. Fine, this is good. We can see more information here. Next, what I am going to do is I'm going to just drag and drop the quantity also. Whatever the columns that you needed for your report, you can copy paste it here, and drag and drop it here. Okay, the next one is the profit. If you want to change the order, you can just play around with this one. So after sales, so after quantity, if you want to have the column sales, you just you can move this down, and sales, profit, and this many number of items. Fine, now we are able to create the sales. But here when you see the sales and profit, just before the sales we can see the sigma sign. That means this column has been summarized. To check that one, you just click on this drop down kind of icon. When you select this one, you will find, see, by default sum is enabled on sales column. If you don't want the sum to be done for each and every category wise, subcategory wise, what you can do is you can do don't summarize. When you enable don't summarize, what will happen is it will give more detailed record. Look here, very very detailed record. Okay, so it's something like that. You have year wise sales. Somebody is telling you my year wise sales is 2020 year sale is 5 lakhs. Okay, and that is the total 2020 years total sales. January, February, March, day wise, every day in January, every day in February, for the 365 days, each day what is the sales. If you want to see that, and remove the sum. So here I just removed the sum. Okay, and here I don't want to remove it, but just because in this table visualization I want the detailed information, day-to-day transaction. Okay, what is my day one sales, and what is the how many number of items that I sold it, and what is the profit. Look here, the sales is 0, but profit is 132.68. Okay, there is something wrong here. So with this itself you can understand some problem with the data. Look here how the table visual is helpful to identify the data issues also here. It's quite interesting. But here it says 0, sales is 0, but this one, maybe they would have adjusted from the return. The items they would have sent it to someone, shipped it, and they would have returned it, because of which the sales was 0, but we sent 9 items, but the sales was 0, because there was no, they returned the item. Since they returned the item, the profit was negative. Why it is negative? Because the shipping cost. So free pickup for the return. Okay, if you want to return it, we will come and pick up, but for that we don't have to, we are not going to charge you anything. In that case, negative property. There could be a number of reasons, or maybe data quality issues. Somehow the sales value should be there, but it is not there. So in this case it is fine. Negative value we can with the domain knowledge we can make out. There are some return happen, but what about here? We have profitability values, something wrong with the sales. So qualities. So debugging purpose also it is very much helpful. And the point to note here is, in the case of sales, when we dragged and dropped it in this values column, and when you click on this one, you can see don't summarize. So it will give you the itemized sales, each and every day what all the sales happen. You can see it. And no, I don't want to see each and every day. In total, in the case of bookcases subcategory, which falls under category, what is the total sales we made? Okay, and in that case all the bookcases will become on a single line. Summary here, okay, category. But why again multiple bookcases? Because we sold bookcases not only in specific. If you look at some kind of, for example, for that I'm going to use segment here. Instead of segment, I just use country. I just move this up. Yeah, this is good. Okay, in China, why we are getting multiple bookcases here? Because we sell the items, the subcategory bookcases under various country, but each country, the bookcases you can find it only one time. The reason is summary. But if you disable the sum, don't summarize, what will happen is, within China, how many number of times the bookcases we sold it. Within China, bookcases 5. It shows only 5 here. Okay, in France, bookcases, let me do one thing. I'll just sort it here. Look here. In Afghanistan, within Afghanistan, it shows multiple furnishings. Okay, but we need to see this segment because it involves some kind of segment. Within segment, since within furnitures we have another hierarchy like consumer, corporate, home office. But more than these three, look here, each country for furnishings under consumer segment we have only one record. It aggregated the value. But we have used don't summarize, but it shows still this one. If I enable sum, we will see Afghanistan, and because we sold only one record only one time, hence it is not showing many things here. So 5, 7, 6. Now if you look here, the number of bookcases got reduced. For example, you will have to take the screenshot so that we should be able to compare it. Look here, we have 4, isn't it? So one second. Consumer, corporate, home office. There's something wrong is happening. Let me do one thing. I just paste it here. If I enable summarize, what is happening for the sales column? Without summarize, with sum. After we do the sum here, so furnishings, and book furniture, Afghanistan furniture, and book furnishings. It shows furnishings now. Home office, consumer. Look here, this is the classic example. The consumer, we have 2 records. 2 plus 2, 4. It makes it 4. Consumer. Look here. Consumer furnishings, it shows 2 here. Furnishing 2 plus 2, 4. That is the detailed one. One second. It is doing the sum. Ideally, it should have done that way. If I don't do it, it gives me something different. One second. I'll just furnishings. Where is furnishings here? Afghanistan furniture. Yeah, subcategory. So, sorry, I should have seen it here, right? So furnishings. I'm going to sort this one also. Afghanistan technology, and it should have gone down because of accessories. So this column we are sorting it out. That's one problem. And best thing, I'll just do it in country itself. Afghanistan furnishings, only 3 records are there. How I got 4 records that time? Count of segment. Maybe because of this one. I wouldn't have included don't summarize. And able to follow me. So now what happened? I just disable the default summarization. Don't summarize on quantity. Don't summarize on sales. Now it shows the detailed records. Okay, within the furniture and within the furnishings and the segment, right? So we can see furnishings consumer and furnishing consumer, 2 records are there. If I enable summarization, what is happening? So only one record will be there in the furnishings consumer. Instead of two records, it will get added to, it will get added, and then it will get aggregated or summarized. And I am going to do the same thing for, look here, though I enable summary for this one, but the sales, I need to enable the sum for that one also. It is loading, you have to wait. Look here. Okay, we will do it one more time. For example, for sales, if I don't do aggregation, see, when you use from this, what did you understand? When you include more than one numeric variable or quantitative variable along with the text values, right? What happens here is, of these two numerical value, if any one of the numerical value, if you mention or if you have chosen don't summarize, right? See, for this variable I enable summarize, whereas for this variable I did not enable summarize, still it shows the detailed record. This is the learning. Okay, this is the takeaway for you guys compared to other YouTube videos and other videos. So we have, though we spent quite a while to learn this one, so this is the one you need to keep in mind, because in the real time you will be working with multiple numerical variable along with the categorical variable. In that case, you might encounter something like this. All the numerical variable, if you want to summarize, enable all the numerical variable summarize. If you partially enable some numerical variable as non-summarization and other variables are summarization, but still it will show detailed records only. You want to do aggregation, enable aggregation for all the numerical variable, otherwise it will show the detailed records. You might get confused, man, I enabled summarize for this but I did not enable this, why still it is not aggregating it for sales, right? So that is because partially you enable the summarization for the few numerical variable only. Now you got it. So this is the real time issues, these are the real time issues you will be forcing it. Now it is good, now we are able to solve this issue. So when you apply the filter on, that's how you need to use slicer to filter only specific records. In the real time you will be working with more number of records. Troubleshooting is a little bit difficult if you work with more records. So in that case, what you do is use slicers to filter the record, narrow down your data using the slicer, and then you can find out why it is not happening. So far we were thinking that just because I removed category, it is doing the filtering based on these three columns by grouping these three columns only, excluding category. That was not correct. Actually, partially we enable the summarization on the numerical column. What do you mean by partially? Of these two numerical variables, only one numerical variable we enable summarization, other variable we did not do it. Still, just because we did we disable the summarization for one numeric variable, it was still showing the detailed records. Okay, next what we will do is we will do the formatting. Formatting is a lot of bunch of options are available with formatting. If you go here, page information, we don't have to do anything with page information, and first and foremost you need to select the visual and then go to the format icon, and from here you have something like a grid option is available. So you want to have a vertical grid, so line, so look, line appears, right? If you enable vertical grid color also you can specify something like this, so that to distinguish the one column from another column you can use it something like this. It is up to you. Grid thickness, if you want to increase the thickness you can increase the thickness, and horizontal grid on. Okay, so if I say horizontal grid, know what will happen. So here, one second, if I enable is what is happening here, we don't see anything here, and grid color, and that is not required. And text size, you can increase the text size. For example, if I increase it to all the text size got increased to 14 point, and you can resize the table for better visualization. And column headers, So here you can say font color. Instead of column headers, you can give some other color. Okay, and what you do is you say something like this. You can give like this, and then background color. Even for the column, you can give the background color. I'm going to say black color. Best thing for black, the matching color is white font color, so that it will be very clear. And also you have some bottom only, outline bottom only, and if I give outline, okay, outline top plus bottom, this is not much helpful. And text size little bit I increase it, and then bold, if you want bold or underline something, alignment. So alignment, this is very much helpful. You want to align it in the column middle, so this one should be displayed in the middle of each column. Alignment also we are done. And the next one is conditional formatting. This is very much important. In real-time scenario we will be using column formatting. When you expand this one, you can see country. You want to do the column formatting for country? No, I just want to do the column formatting for the sales column. And here I am going to enable background color. When you click on this, what happens is, so for this sales column alone, I need to do some kind of coloring. Okay, because this one can highlight, this can grasp the attention of the audience. When they see this table, first they see this one because something is colored here. And again, coloring is fine, but I want to do some kind of I don't want to color the specific column. See, coloring the entire table does not make any sense. Coloring or highlighting specific column is good. It will grab the attention of the audience or the users. Quickly they can see, oh, this is the column, we need to look at it. But within that column, if I wanted to give different colors, for example, for that, if you click on the advanced controls here, minimum, lower value, for the lowest sales you give, the highest sales you give something like this. Or I just go and select some other column, green color or something like that. The highest sale is green color. Okay, and what I do is I just I need to drag this one. Yeah, if you drag and somewhere, if you keep it here, look here on the extreme right, the green color. Okay, and the lowest value is, if I go ahead and yes, or if you know the color code, you go to Google and check for green color code. Whatever the green color code, you get it, or the light green or this one, the dark green, those colors related code, you can type it manually here. That's all. Next one is, we are done with this. 1 second, right? So next, okay, that's all. When you click on the empty space, blank space here, that one will disappear. And the next one is, when you click on OK, look here, highest sales got highlighted in green, lowest sales. Similarly, if you want to highlight something red, because the management, they are very particular about red color also. Okay, supposing the lowest value, instead of giving like this, we can select red color. Okay, and red color, and you click OK. See, so it tells us very clearly we highlighted the lowest sales, 131. So it will grab their attention quickly. So the furniture for the corporate segment, we are not faring well. Similarly, you can compare for other countries also. For example, United States or something like that. Or let's select something randomly, Singapore, and both put together. Even if you just if you resize it, you can compare it. Singapore corporate segment, we are getting more sales, whereas In Afghanistan, we are not selling well. So it's a great insight. We are able to get it. So and also, so that is the beauty of the conditional formatting. This is one of the compelling feature that is available here. And also, if you enable title, you can give some kind of title here. In this case, we did not give any title. So column formatting we did it, and then background and various options are there. You can give it a try. Okay, and you can, if you want border, you can give border for the entire visual. What is the border? Okay, if I select here, go back here, the axis, and here something called column headers and values. Okay, for the values, font colors, what values I want to give it to the font colors, background color also you can give it, alternate. So a lot of options are available. Okay, and I think this is enough as of now. Okay, we don't need, look here, if I disable this one, what happens? See, for the border for this table, okay, it is bit I click on this one, slightly it is, because the border color, sorry, background color, right, background on. Okay, this is border, this is what the border. If I enable this one, it gives me border, and border also you can specify the different colors. Since it's a black color, it is not visible. I'm going to give something like this. See the border color. Okay, and radius, if you enable the radius or something like that, border color, and or let us use some other color, but white will not give, because the canvas color is white. You will not be able to make out the difference. Let us try something. Yes, see the overall border color. Okay, this is the border, and the next one is likewise. You can specify different colors for the borders, and also you can increase the border size also. If you go here and radius, okay, here only radius is available. Okay, the thickness option is not available. And also you have shadow and tooltip in your tooltip. So if I go here, if I hover the cursor here, we are just showing corporate, right? So if I enable tooltip on, if you hover the cursor on by for each category or each column, it shows all those things. Country, Singapore, furniture and furnishings, consumer. Okay, what are the sales? Okay, that is what. So all these things, right? All these things will be shown as single one. If you go here, everything is shown as single thing here. So that is what tooltip. Tooltip is kind of a help. It gives you the context about the specific record, the specific item. And again, this grid doesn't look good. What we do is we just go ahead and remove this grid. I don't want vertical grid. Or if you want a horizontal grid, you can give horizontal grid also. For example, if you want to give something like horizontal grid, line by line, if they want to see it, yes, they can see it like this. But along with horizontal, and if you enable vertical, it'll make sense, right? It looks like a typical Excel table or something, Excel data. But anyhow, we don't use vertical, and horizontal we will be using it. Horizontal makes sense, right? We can use it, but it is up to you, okay, whether you can enable it or not. So next one is, we will see the matrix visualization. So I just copy paste this one. So now I selected this visual, and I go to the I'll click on the matrix visual. Look here, the matrix visual, it shows in hierarchical format. It shows the data in hierarchical format. What is the difference between matrix and table? What is the difference between these two? Table is two-dimensional. It shows the data in two-dimensional format. Okay, the table shows the data in two-dimensional format, whereas in the case of matrix, you can show more than 2 dimensions. That is the key difference between these two visualization. Okay, see, in the case of table visualization, right, we can create visuals for multiple labels under same category. We have created multiple labels under same. For example, subcategory should comes under category, and segment should fall under, or let's say you have a country and state, city. You created country, state, city columns separately, and each category, right, you can see the data. If you want to see each category and the hierarchy, each hierarchy and the next hierarchy level, if you want to see it, you can see it here. But when it comes to matrix, what happens is, right, it shows the data in a hierarchical format correctly. Okay, the first and foremost, the difference between table and matrix is it shows the table shows the data in two-dimensional form, whereas the matrix, it supports multi-dimensional data grid format. Multi-dimensionals are possible here. Okay, in this case the rows are not fixed here. Okay, only the columns are fixed here, whereas here both rows and columns are not fixed. What do you mean by not fixed? Supposing I just country and one second here, furniture. See, each country, these are the categories, country wise, category wise, right? So that is what we can say. And in Singapore country, if you expand this one, you can see the subcategory also here. See, the category and subcategory formed a hierarchy. This hierarchy falls under category, sorry, this country. Okay, country wise. So category wise, subcategory wise, country wise, what is the sales, you can see it, quantity, sales, everything. And also you can find the drill down icons here, enabled here. Okay, now let us go on. See, now it automatically creates the hierarchy based on the column that you have chosen here, right? Whatever the columns, look here with these columns, categorical variable, I just dragged and dropped it. Based on this, it automatically, supposing I want to change the, I want to include one more thing here, and let's say, category, columns or categories. Look here, see, the another advantage of matrix is it shows the data in rows and columns format. If you want to pivoting, you can do it with this one. Here the records were furniture and furnishings, all the things were there, right? So here you wanted to have the rows into columns. We converted the row into column here, furniture. Okay, that's how we did it, rows and columns. Each furniture, in furniture, what is the quantity and sales? See, look here, this become a, these rows become a column. You can convert the row into columns, which is nothing but pivoting. Furniture, okay, and here the furnishings are something like your subcategory, and within this category, what the subcategories are there, you can do it. Supposing you want to have the fun, okay, if I deselect this, you will get a complete picture. Okay, I did not use category here. Look here, the category, in this case the category is displayed in row wise, but each value in this category row wise, right, it became a column now. Furniture, technology, office supplies. Converting the row into columns are possible with matrix, but you need to specify the variables in the appropriate columns in order to display the data in pivoting. So in this case, the columns, I just dragged and dropped which column you want to convert it as a column, rows into columns, that you need to specify here. Okay, supposing you want to say segment, we have less number of segment, I just drag and drop it here. All these segment related records will become a, I just drag and drop it. In furniture, office supplies, one second. In furniture, quantity sales. Okay, in furniture, category segment. Okay, let us do one thing. I just columns. It is not doing the nested level. Technology. What are they? Furniture, office supplies. These are the category level, right? And then see category and this one. And if I want to do it in the row wise drill down. Beautiful feature, right? Row wise drill on and column wise drill on is also possible. So the category wise, if you want to category wise, subcategory wise, if you want to see this thing, you can see it here. The country is not visible here, and what we will do is, yes, because of the drill down all the things. Okay, what I am going to do is I am going to simply click on it here, or we will select the column level. Okay, let me do one thing. I just select country Afghanistan. Let it load it. Okay, and Afghanistan in the category accessories. I just select I think accessories available everywhere. Okay, and category technology it shows. Okay, and let me select one more, appliances, office supplies, and in technology we have something else like machines technology. Okay, sorry, I need to do selecting for more than one, and accessories and bookcases, and what else, one more category is missing, furniture technology and office supplies. Office supplies are something like papers, bookcases, machines, paper. Okay, bookcases, these are all falls under this one. So when you apply a filter on Afghanistan, it does this one. Okay, and within the Afghanistan, in this subcategory, and each subcategory belongs to these corresponding categories, and you can see how many number of quantities we sold in furniture, how many number of sale, how much sales we made it for this many number of quantities for bookcases. Now if I do column wise, what is happening? So we have something like here segment, okay, and here row wise, and one second, column wise. If I move this up one level, so under segment, under category, it is creating, this is the hierarchy. Okay, here, see here in the row wise also hierarchy it creates, and column wise also it creates hierarchy, right? So when I click on this one, now we are in drill up segment wise sales. We can see it now, corporate, consumer, home office, what is the sales. And whereas here if I go one level down, expand all down, next level, if I go here, the next level is category, furniture, office supplies, technology. So here we have three icons are available, and drill on columns and drill on rows. This feature is available with matrix. If you want to, okay, now you must be asking this one. Let's say now we are in furniture and office category. If I want to drill up, see currently it shows at the category level. If you want to move up to segment level, you just click on the drill up. Segment level, one second, here it shows, okay, but here it is in row level, column level. I just save